Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is lap guide for Autopolis with the Subaru BRZ. Let's get this started. For this first turn, start to brake just before the 100-meter mark. Do all your braking here, and as you start to turn, slowly ease off on the brake. Then, once you hit the apex, slowly transition over from the brakes to the throttle. Use the tire marks that's on the ground as a guide for knowing when to turn. You want to start to brake just after you pass the little path that is on the left. Do all your braking, and as you start to turn, you can then slowly lift off the brake and very slowly start to accelerate. Then get your car to the middle of the track, and once you're about to start to turn, you want to lift off the throttle. This is a lot of throttle control that you'll need to do right here for these two turns. That way you can try to hit both apexes. Then just after the second turn, go to the middle of the track and start to brake before the curb on the right ends. Hug the inside of the turn, and once your car is starting to face towards the orange barrier, you can slowly start to accelerate your way out. As you depart from the right side of the track to make this next turn, start to ease off on the throttle. Go at about half throttle and slowly decrease, but then once your car is starting to point towards the official stand on the other side of the track, you can then start to fully accelerate. For this turn, you want to brake a little bit after you pass this sign that is on the right. This braking zone happens to be in between this sign and the 50-meter mark. You want to go for a late apex here. That way, once you hit it, you can then fully accelerate and you don't have to worry about getting the car to oversteer or anything like that. Brake well before the 50-meter mark. By braking here, you should be able to slow down enough so then you can go through this turn with as little chance of getting the car to slide. Once you hit the apex, you can then slowly start to accelerate. As you turn, you want to ease off on the throttle. Go at under half throttle and try to keep yourself as close to the inside of the turn as you can. Then, once your car is pointing in between the official stand on the left and the orange barrier that is on the right, on the other side of the track that is, you can then start to fully accelerate. Here's a bit of a weird turn. So when your car is in between this turn you just passed and this next turn, you want to brake heavily for just a moment. Then you could use some braking and some throttle to adjust the car to get as tight of an arc that you can. And once your car is starting to face towards the start of the bridge up ahead, you can then start to fully accelerate. You should be able to hit this next apex. Then, just before you start to pass the bridge, you want to ease off on the throttle so that way you can hit this apex and not go wide when you exit the turn. After you hit the apex, you can slowly start to accelerate, but then bring your car to the left side of the track as soon as you can and then ease off on the throttle again. Use a little bit of throttle to maintain your deceleration rate and get your car closer and closer to the inside of the turn. Once your car is starting to point towards this tent that is all the way on the top of the grandstand, you can then start to fully accelerate and you are good to go. That's all for the guide. Non-commentary versions coming up, but first I just want to say thank you for the 600 plus subscribers. You guys are awesome. But anyways, this is Mr. MCA, the world's most okay player, and I'll see you in the next video.